It was really a special pleasure today to listen to the inspiration that the speakers really brought to this amazing company. And it's been very clear to me from the very beginning of my association with Market America through my friend Victor Ferrari and the Pignaginal people that this was a company that at its essence understood that financial security needed to be linked to personal wellness and personal growth. And as a physician, thank you. I really appreciated the prioritization in their philosophy and in their products and in their personal sense of duty to the people who work with them and for them. So with that, I'd like to congratulate Market America for 25 years. So, we all have a limited amount of time, and as a physician, part of what I do is to try to inspire people to make the most of the time that they have on this earth. And with all due respect to IBB and BV, I think the thing that you really need to cherish the most is your health and your wellness, and it's a responsibility for all of you to do the best you can. And even though theoretically I'm in the illness business, I'm really actually much more interested as I progress in my own personal career in directing people to understanding that there is a time clock. You need to make the most of the time that you have. And, a thought came about, if you went over to somebody and stopped them on the street and said to them, "How are you?" And they said, "I'm alive." I don't think that would be a really good answer, right? You want them to say, "I am really alive," right? You need to have an adjective or an adverb, right? And that's really where I am as a physician. How are you? I'm well. Well, that's really not good enough. How well are you? Here's illness and here's wellness. Where in this continuum are you? And you hope that you are all the way to the left. And I hope that every day you're thinking about your wellness. The good news is so is Market America. All right. So a big question always is, how old am I? Or how old do I look? Well, obviously that's a sense of perspective, right? Maybe to your grandchild you look old, but maybe to your mother you look young. So it is an issue of perspective. And it's important to understand that there are different manifestations and different ways we look at aging. We look at chronologic age and we look at biologic age. You'd like to be able to separate them out so that biologically you remain youthful and young and vital and vibrant. And that's really part of why you're taking such good care of yourself, because it's not just about being alive. It's about being really alive, okay? So when you tell your friends what you are, please explain to them that you are doing everything you can to promote your wellness and vitality, and maybe you will inspire them to do the same, all right? It is relative. Look at this. Look at this woman. She was 78 years old when she was told that she had osteoporosis. Well, telling somebody who's 78 that they have osteoporosis is telling somebody that you have gray hair at age 78. This is very common, and unfortunately, some people just get intimidated by that, quote, diagnosis, instead of really being inspired to do what this lady did. Look at this. Deidre Larkin, 85, South Africa's record-breaking marathon runner. It can happen to you. All you have to do is put in the time and the energy and the belief in yourself. Everything what Lauren was talking about was truly inspirational. It's not about age. It's really about attitude, as it said, and that every person who's successful has the right attitude. And you can't be around people who are toxic, who diminish who you are as a person. And you certainly shouldn't even be going to a doctor who tells you that you can't accomplish certain things, okay? So let's talk about a stage in people's lives. And even though I'm the director of men's health at NYU, which has really been a phenomenal experience, and any of you are invited to come to 555 Madison Avenue in New York and see what an amazing center we've created. What's interesting at the Men's Health Center, 20 to 30% of our patients are women, all right? And the fact that it has one title on it is simply the fact that the Tisch family gave us $15 million and then another $15 million to call it a Center for Men's Health. But women are invited to our center. Well, there is a stage in people's lives, in women's lives, which is called menopause. It's not an illness. It's a continuum. It's part of their lives. And by the way, maybe in the future, I will talk to you about the male equivalent, which we call menopause, right? Or andropause, all right? Not exactly the same thing, because it doesn't occur, quote, universally, but this is a condition that sooner or later will occur to every female, okay? Well, what happens? Well, during this process and immediately before this process, which we call perimenopause, there are physiologic changes that occur in some women to a greater degree and some to a less degree. What will they start having? They'll start having some hot flashes. They may be putting themselves at risk for some heart disease. They may have changes in their skin. They're going to have some sleep issues, some emotional issues. They may develop some physiologic changes in their vaginal tract. Not very pleasant, to put it mildly, all right? But it's a process, as I said, most women survive and get through this without much trouble, right? I mean, some women are so troubled that they need to see their gynecologist and are given prescription items. The prescription items can be very helpful. On the other hand, as we know, every drug has some potential untoward side effects, and some are very serious. So you have to always look at the risk-benefit ratio whenever you take a pharmaceutical, all right? In many patients, they're fine, but in some, the benefit does not outweigh the risks, okay? So what can you do about it? Well, my friends at Horfag and Victor Ferrari and company, they have a wonderful product which is incorporated in many of your products, pycnogenol, and they did a study showing that the women who ingested 100 milligrams, which is a pretty standard dose. It's a dose that my wife, Kiki, takes every single day for a variety of reasons, okay? Whether it's to prevent leg swelling or to promote skin promotion or to just, increase her anti-inflammatory capacity, she takes it. Well, in these women who were studied in a controlled trial, and that's what's so magical about the pycnogenol people, they actually invest money in doing clinical trials, and they actually found that the women after 8 weeks had a reduction in night sweating, a reduction in hot flashes, some changes in dryness that they were distressed by, that there was an improvement in their libido. So these changes matter. Is this a cure for, quote, this condition? Well, you don't need a cure. It's not a disease, but it is a state, okay? And does it relieve some of the discomforting symptoms that these women had? Yes. It didn't prevent them all, but it made their lives more comfortable. And that's really what we try to sometimes do in medicine. I wish I could tell you that I cured everybody. No, but I'm trying to care and treat everybody. Look at some of the other psychological, neurologic issues that women will complain of. Fatigue, hair loss, sleep disorders. And if you look across the board on the women who took 100 milligrams of pycnogenol, which is an extremely safe product, I'm not certain there's at any level any toxicity, to tell you the truth, which is really a unique product. Look at this. They were having an improvement in their symptoms, okay? Psychological issues, irritability, depression, anxiety. So this product actually makes a difference in the quality of people's lives. And it is not hormone mediated. It's not driven through the hormonal process. It's driven through a multiplicity of properties that this magical compound has. Maybe it's anti-inflammatory, or what we call its ability to dilate blood vessels. You like blood vessels to dilate in most organs, to tell you the truth, all right? And guess what? You have it in your isotonics product, which is really a staple and a foundational product that Mark in America has had for all of the years that I have been associated with this wonderful company. Well, let's talk about another subject that I am very, very interested in. I've written several books on obesity. Obesity is finally getting the respect that it deserves, and you have to understand that obesity, no matter what anybody may have told you, is not a it's not a problem with willpower. All right, it is not an accounting problem. It's not, believe it or not, calories in and calories out. I wish that were the case. Well, then everybody would succeed. It's the nature of the calories that you take in. That is, 1,000 calories of ice cream is going to be handled by the body differently than 1,000 calories of broccoli. All right? It's just the way the body metabolizes these products. And unfortunately, we have been torturing overweight people and implying that they have a lack of willpower or lack of will in general. And as I've educated now a whole population of doctors and students, I said many, many years ago, I asked myself whether obesity could be caused by one of three things. That one, everybody who's overweight was somehow stupid. Two, that they didn't care. Or three, that it was biology. I believed it was biology. And look what you guys have now. You have TLS trim tea, natural product with black tea extract, African mango, trying to understand the biology of obesity. There are signals between the brain and the gut, all right, that are causing and creating hunger and satiety, and they are different in different individuals. The people who discovered leptin won a Nobel Prize. They realized that leptin is a substance produced by fat cells. This substance then goes into the brain, hooks up, and makes you feel full. The problem is that in obesity, that signal either doesn't get to where it's supposed to go, or it's not working properly. Just as insulin is found in diabetics and there's resistance to leptin. Well, you have a product now that, the exact mechanism of action, I'm not certain, but whether it's by reducing certain other inflammatory markers or doing whatever it's supposed to be doing, is facilitating this product's ability to get into the brain and hopefully function to increase the feeling of fullness and satiety so you can make the right choices, so you can reduce the carbs in your diet. Willpower in the management of obesity, unfortunately, will not work with very rare, exception. For any of you who have succeeded, congratulations. But as I've told many individuals, if I told you not to wear a coat in the winter, you could do so for a week, but you're never going to convince your brain that you're not cold. And the same thing occurs in people who are suffering from weight issues. It's complicated, it's multi-system. The medical profession recognizes it, the endocrine society recognizes it, bariatric society recognizes it, and I hope that the general public will soon understand that we need biologic approaches. I think this is a very, very interesting product in conjunction with a healthy lifestyle. You can't just drink this tea and think that you're going to lose some weight. You now have to be educated with reference to low glycemic eating and physical activity and proper sleep. Wellness is about nutrition, sleep, stress, and activity. And that's what you have to think about every single day. What are you doing every day to produce your wellness? What are you doing every day to ensure your financial security? This is what Market America does. That's why it's a privilege for me to be here and share with you some of my thoughts. It's an opportunity to talk to 25,000 people as opposed to one person at a time. You've got yourself a very good product here. Use it in conjunction. Use it sensibly. The goal is to facilitate satiety on a biologic basis so that you can follow what you have been educated and what you would like to do. There are a lot of different potential mechanisms by which this product works. Satiety, appetite control, it is not willpower. That's the bottom line. Invest in your wellness, invest in isotonics. I very much appreciate for my wife and myself to, thank you for inviting us every year. Be well.